It's a course that I believe that is going to make that happen. And I did complete my studies in mining engineering. I did work in the mining sector, in the gold mines in one of the deep mines in South Africa, Mponeng. Later on, I went to say I know much more about the industry and how the mining sector is going. Hence, now you are talking about nationalization of mines and so on. And I tell you that it's gonna be flawed. I think that we must just collect enough taxes from these mining companies and also bring about these BEE, policies to say in terms of ownership, partner with black people and so on and so on. And I think that's what we need to do, but also still protect the jobs for the people. Extract value, but I don't believe in expropriation. Expropriation of land. Also, I don't agree to such things. I agree in the current willing buyer, willing seller policy to say the government also should assist and put budget annually to actually a lot of illegal immigrants in the country, and I think that we should deport them urgently. That is on an urgent basis. We need to do that. Make sure that we deport them, and everyone who comes to South Africa must come here legally. We should be able to identify you. We should build halls. The SNDF has got soldiers and engineers. They are also there. If you do not know, we've got engineers in the defense force. Those are people who can assist in
most famous boundary. it's South Africa and Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Which side of the wall? Which side of the river should the wall be?
Which side of the wall?
Which side of the river?
The river
should the wall be?
Doesn't matter, that one.
It matters because if it's on South African side, you are stopping people from Musina to access the river. So you have typically rendered.
At the end of the day, we must just have a wall.
Let me finish. So you have effectively given away Limpopo River to Zimbabwe. So it doesn't matter to you.
But remember, you can still construct. We've got engineers, as I said.
No, I agree with you. Because what I want to do is the practicalities of the. Let's say, culturally and geographically.
Yeah, but my background is of vendor roots. Yes, we, the Ramobas are vendors, of course. Yeah, it's just that
and the Mamailas?
Mamailas are the Balobetu people. If you are buying fuel right now as let's say you are a wholesaler for fuel. If you are buying fuel in South Africa to take it to Botswana, you buy it with about 7 rand, 8 rand. And then that side then, is going to be sold at around 12 rand. But then, still, they get it from South Africa. Why are we paying 24 rand?
Through in order to become an independent. And you're doing Limpopo and Gauteng only?
Correct.
Please just explain it, and then we'll come to why you chose.
Yeah, but remember, as I said, we have got a political party called Employment Party. Employment Party was registered this year. So we were late in terms of rallying behind as a party, the preparations and so on. But we could have, we would have loved to go as a party, but due to the registration and the certificate that it arrived late, we saw it, that, we cannot avoid having not contest.
Yes.
We will have to find a way to.
Let's start. Mr. Ramoba, can you please tell us who are you and where you from?
Okay. My name is Blessings Ramoba, and I'm an independent candidate for this coming elections, 2024 elections. I'm also the president and CEO of Mining Forum of South Africa, which I founded I'm also taking part as the president of Employment Party, one which is registered with the IEC, but for the purpose of these coming elections, I'm not. We are not contesting under the banner of of the party. And answering your question about whose Blessings Ramoba, I was born in Soweto, 1989, and at the age of 5, my parents moved back to Limpopo, where they come from, and we come from an area called Sekosese. It's under Tzaneen. It's one of the villages under Tzaneen local municipality. A place or village called Mamaila village, and that's where I started school and did my matric there, and also completed up until I went to University of Johannesburg to study mining engineering, and then later on I studied labor law. So my activism started when I was actually at the university. I was the chairperson of mining students, and also taking part in the student activism under the youth league, the likes of SASCO and so on, and that's where I was dealing with, the challenges of young people within the university environment. Of course, that's where I learned my activism, dealing with student challenges and so on. And that's basically where I started my activism. And but going back a little bit regarding the villages of where I come from, I matriculated 2008, not so long, but I can tell you that in 2008 we still had challenges of textbooks at school, meaning that we were sharing textbooks, but at that particular time we could not even have printers where you can print so that you are able to share material. The area where I grew up is the dusty streets of Limpopo. Less opportunities, but today things are different there. We start seeing developments in the area, but during our time when we were still schooling, it used to be very, very bad. I did not grow up in a very privileged family. It was a family where I can tell you that we're just surviving, meaning that we just eat and that's it. But I learned that through education you can change the situation, and that's why I took in education very serious, to say this is a vehicle that I'm going to use to change my life, and regardless of the background, I'm going to choose a course that I believe that is going to make that happen. And I did complete my studies in mining engineering. I did work in the mining sector, in the gold mines, in one of the deep mines in South Africa, Mponeng. Later on, I went to Sibanye, and before that, I went to Goldfields. That's where I was. But I can tell you that, I just did not like how things are done in the mining sector. That's where my activism also expanded in terms of coming up with the Mining Forum of South Africa. And the purpose of the organization, which was founded in 2015, immediately after, during Marikana and so on, we came up with the Mining Forum of South Africa to address the issues of challenges that are in the mining sector. Mining companies, some of them, they don't want to transform. And that's one of the issues that, made us to actually come up with the organization as a lobby group to deal with the compliance issues. The MPRDA, Mineral Petroleum Resource Development Act, the likes of the Mining Charter, it does stipulate there in terms of the responsibilities of mining companies, things that they have to do. Social and labor plans where they operate, you need to see development, you need to see road infrastructure, you need to see schools, you need to see development happening in those areas, and of which it's not happening. And for the past 10 years of existence of the Mining Forum of South Africa, we engage with the Department of Minerals. All these ministers who have been coming in and out, we engage with them regarding that transformation which we want to see. Beneficiation, we also champion for beneficiation in the mining sector to say, let's beneficiate our minerals here, at least 50% of our minerals. The Mining Charter and also the MPRDA also, they just, touch it, but they don't go deeper to say, no, we encourage, beneficiation. But we are saying that let every mining company, be forced to comply with the regulations in the mining sector. And basically is one of the things that which we are championing. And for the past 10 years, we have seen improvements in terms of businesses amongst black people being given opportunities, increasing also in the mining sector for black people. And that's what we are doing. So recently we came up with the Employment Party. And the Employment Party, we have realized that we have got the high levels of, unemployment in the country. And specifically, we want to champion policies that can grow economy in South Africa to be able to create, employment opportunities in the country.
Oh, are you done?
Yes.
I was interested when you said Sekgosese. So, for someone who doesn't know, would you regard Sekgosese as Mujaji?
Yeah, I think, remember, Sekgosese, we have got chiefs there, but their family is the same family of Mujaji. So our queen is Mujaji, but our chief is the local chief in the area. But they do report at Mujaji. So we are under Balobedu, area, of course. And I would like to believe that, we are under Mujaji area.
Yeah, that question was just to locate you culturally and geographically.
Yeah, but my background is of Venda roots. Yes, the Ramobas are vendors, of course. Yeah, it's just that...
and the Mamailas?
Mamailas are the Balobedu people. So we are actually in the foreign area. Yeah, we are in the foreign. We are the vendors.
Yes.
Yeah, our roots comes from Venda. That's where we come from. But by location, due to movements of people, of course, we found ourselves having to. And when I asked my father is talking about 1958. That's when they were moved somewhere, and then they were, that's where he found a place to stay. They were moved, and then they were located that site.
Limpopo, it's a very special place because you've got very different ethnicities clustered in.
But we are one people at the end of the day.
Especially in that special.
Yeah, but Ramova is, we are vendors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me, man, you spoke about the mines and the jobs, and I want you to pack it later because I want to ask you about the Botswana deal. So, pack the Botswana deal, the mines and the jobs. Because I'm going to ask you about the panya jobs.
Okay.
You spoke about 2 or 3 different organizations, and you are going as an independent.
Yes.
So I want people to understand that, because it might be very confusing. And you know, I'm sorry, it fault on my side. Do you have your because I wanted to take your T-shirt and put it here, but it's fine. I think I'll put it digitally for people to see it.
Yes.
It doesn't represent any of the organizations that you spoke about.
Correct.
Yeah, because you say you are going there as an individual.
As an independent.
Yes. So an independent candidate does what? Because this is the first time in the history of our dispensation that we are having an independent candidate. And most of people don't know it. They know it at local government elections, of course, but it's a new thing. And you guys, because you are pioneers, and the few others, a very, very few others, I must emphasize.
Yeah.
You are going to because you are pioneers.
Correct.
So it's going to be hard for you. Tell us the process that you went through, painstaking process that you went through in order to become an independent. And you're doing Limpopo and Gauteng only?
Correct.
Please just explain it, and then we'll come to why you chose.
Yeah, but remember, as I said, we have got a political party called Employment Party. Employment Party was registered this year. So we were late in terms of rallying behind as a party, the preparations and so on. But we could have, we would have loved to go as a party, but due to the registration and the certificate that it arrived late, we saw it, that, we cannot avoid having not contest. Yes. We will have to find a way to contest this, these elections. Mm-hmm. And another vehicle which we had was of an independent candidate. But we would have loved to go as an employment party, and yeah. So that's the reason why. But in terms of the process is the same. You go around gathering the signatures which were required, but also as a party we did gather signatures, but we saw that we haven't reached much of the South African population. Yeah. So you must understand that I'm running under the banner of Employment Party, but as an independent candidate. So I still represent Employment Party somehow, even though I'm given opportunity to go to Parliament. I will be an independent candidate under the banner of Employment Party. But of course the process is to gather those required signatures and make the payment that which is required, and yeah. But you will understand that once you enter the politics of you will understand that is a game of resources. It's about money. If you've got money, you will reach a lot of people in terms of your message, in terms of your manifesto, and so on. And those resources we do not have. We're using little from our own pockets, and be able to do placards there and there, to be able to do advertising, to be able to travel, to be able to organize everything. Is I'm doing it from my own pocket. I do not have a funder or a sponsor or anyone that which is actually supporting me. I'm actually on my own, as they say, is an independent candidate. So yeah, I will be on the ballot, and I can confirm that I'm going to be in Gauteng and Limpopo ballot. Yeah.
No, thank you. The reason I was asking that is because yours is a special one, because you are backed by a political party, meaning that you are not entirely alone, but you are an independent candidate.
Yeah, but
Yes.
at the end of the day, when
You are
I'm there,
backed by-
I'm an
you
independent
represent it. Yes.
in Parliament. But some people say that, oh, what difference are you going to make when you are there? I mean, listen, I would like to believe that it's about the idea and the vision you have for the people of South Africa. I've shared my manifesto to the people. You know, I want to advocate, or I'm advocating for policies that which will create, employment in South Africa. And that's what I'm subscribing to. And anything else I don't subscribe to. Anything that which will make sure that South Africans, get jobs in terms of advocacy of policies, I will support that. And I think that, this thing of going according to party line in Parliament, even when, decisions, you can see that this decision that's been taken here is wrong. I think that people should be given, freedom to actually choose what they want and what they believe in. Isn't that freedom? I mean, people, they must have a choice and be able to express themselves. And that's why I'm here today, to express myself in terms of policies that I think that can actually help South Africa to come out of, the situation where we are, where economy is not growing, and we propose policies that which are going to, to change the lives of our people.
Very good one there you spoke about. So in parliamentary speak, they say voting with your conscience and not party line. So had maybe you were confronted with the Pala vote, maybe to say, what line would you have taken? How would, because people would then lobby you to vote with them, such that you are told them, Chanaman, please vote with us on this matter. I'm just giving you opportunity to digress. Is Pala wrong or is it not wrong? What would you have taken?
I would have analyzed. I would have analyzed. At your disposal, what is available in front of me, and take a decision. Yeah.
So you are allowing yourself to be swayed. And not swayed.
No. I won't. I mean, listen. If something is wrong, and if something is right, and I will take decision based on my consciousness. I mean, my conscious, that what's telling me to say, this is actually, based on what is available in front of me, my analysis, I will actually take a decision based on that.
Thank you for that. So I previously listened to a debate where Floyd Shivambu was there. So they asked a question about independence. You know what he said? Very interestingly, he said, this independence thing is, it's not gonna work. He says the reason it's not gonna work is because you can't run a state alone. You can't run this alone. He made good points, but I however, if I overanalyze what he said, there are defenses that could come in and patch whatever they are doing, because independent, of course, you can't be the president, the premier, the blah blah blah. You still need a team. So he was speaking more in the lines of, remember, in our South African politics, we recall people who don't do the right thing. And I know, I mean, you and I know people who have been, like, for Ramaphosa, for instance, the party went to conference, they said they must restructure the way the Reserve Bank is. He even finished his term, but they did nothing to him. So this is, for me, in defense of, even if you're not independent, people, they still can't recall you, even if you're not. So what is your take on someone who thinks an independent will be?
I think that in future, South Africans must be able to choose their own president from the
directly.
ground. Directly.
Not from Parliament through Electoral College.
No. Then it is the prerogative of that particular independent candidate that which is being elected to make appointments of important positions that which can actually, manage this country. But I can tell you that's where we are going. And if you are saying that, at the moment, regardless of how many votes I get, I will get only one seat. But in future, if you look at it, is unconstitutional. if I get more than votes than everyone else and other parties, means that I should be able to, to form a government, right? Meaning that the current law is flawed and needs to be changed.
True.
And that's basically where we are going, right? South Africans in future must be able to appoint their own leader that they want directly, irregardless of political affiliation.
And I want you to hammer on that point, because people think they are actually voting for a president on the national ballot.
Yeah.
So, and I want you to explain that these people are voted here, they go to parliament, they use the numbers to form an electoral college, then they convince that's why someone is further nominated there.
Yeah.
I want you to hammer the importance of that for the people, because they think they are nominating directly.
You mean when they nominate what, an independent candidate?
Okay, let me say it. So if you were, for example, on the national ballot as an independent candidate, what it would have meant is, should you get 10 million votes, you'll take all those seats, throw them in government, and those people will vote for you to be the president.
Yes.
But they would still have not voted for you directly. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because you still need those people who you took to parliament. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
Because it's a conundrum.
Yes,
people,
I agree.
Yes, so
Yeah.
this thing of electoral college is very difficult to explain to people. So
Yeah.
I thought maybe if you say it maybe in a way that they understand it.
Yeah, but you will be the leader.
Yes, you will
Right?
be the leader.
You will be the leader, but yes, again.
But you can still be toppled by your own people.
You can still be toppled by your own people,
Yes.
whom you chose to actually say, let's go and form a...
Maybe let's use this example. You get more votes than ANC and Panyaza.
Yeah.
Yes. Then what? Let's just talk. Then what?
At the moment.
Yes, at the moment. Let's say you get more votes than Panyaza.
I'm national.
Yes. You're national, but you're contesting
Gauteng and Limpopo, yes.
Gauteng and Limpopo,
I'm contesting
national.
for parliament.
For parliament, national parliament.
Yeah.
At the National Assembly.
Yes.
Okay. Use both examples, whatever the example, because what I want you to do...
Let's say I get more votes than the ANC.
Yes,
or
put it
something
that way.
like that.
What I want is...
Yeah.
for people to actually understand that they are not wasting, because people may think an independent candidate is wasting because that's what they hear from another political party. So I'm giving you a chance to explain how important is a vote for you and what you can do with the vote.
Okay. Basically, me being voted into parliament gives me the opportunity to have a representation in the National Assembly out of 400 seats. But as an independent candidate at the moment is only one seat, basically, regardless of how many votes
you get.
So basically you cannot form a government.
And then explain it further.
Yes, hence I'm saying that it's flawed, right, in this case.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, how it's supposed to have been is that based on how many votes you get, right, those votes should also, be part of when they share the seats. They should actually give you, if you get about a million votes, they should be able to give you certain number of seats in parliament. Maybe as an independent, then you come and appoint your own, and lobby your own, individuals that which are going to be part of the parliamentary, members there. But at the moment is that it's only you. Regardless of, it's unconstitutional. But I think that you can still challenge it in court.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be challenged in court because
let's say I get million votes.
Yes.
And you think that I'll be happy for one seat. I will go to court and challenge it to say, let what is due to me be given to me.
Of course.
In terms of the number of seats that which I deserve.
Of course. So you will understand, and I've told a lot of people, the ANC's democracy is based on what suits them. They're
Yeah.
using their minority.
But remember, they are the one who crafted this
Yes,
in Parliament.
that's why I'm
so
saying
they were
that-
making sure that
Exactly.
they don't give
Space for you and they're
space
gatekeeping.
for independent candidates to actually come and take over, because someone out of nowhere can just say, I'm contesting, and then they get the majority and then they are out.
Yes.
But they were trying to prevent. But we should have challenged that in court long time ago.
Now, Musi tried.
Yes,
Right.
but it was the issue of signatures and so on. But I think that is not late. We can still, take it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So explain it, and then what happens in Gauteng if a lot of people in Gauteng vote for you? All they are doing is they are taking the seats. They are Gauteng. I want you to explain this because
Okay,
it's what it makes- yes.
I'm in Gauteng. I'm in Limpopo.
You are in the Gauteng ballot paper.
Ballot paper.
People who vote for you, where do those votes go? Explain it. So I'm in Gauteng.
Yeah,
I see Blessings Ramoba.
on the ballot.
I vote. My ex gives you a single vote.
Yeah.
Where does that single vote goes? It goes to National Assembly.
National Assembly.
Those in Limpopo do the
Same thing.
So your contribution to the National Assembly comes from two provinces.
No, only one. So remember how the national population is actually, designed in this way, especially regarding the voters' roll. So there are parliament seats that are coming from Gauteng. There are parliament seats that are coming from Limpopo, based on the population, the number of people registered voters there. For example, KZN is the highest, province in South Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So they will have a large number of parliamentary seats there, based on how many
Direct
people
proportion.
who are, registered to vote again.
Yes.
So, meaning that out of 400 seats, so we know that Limpopo is how many parliament seats, Gauteng is how many parliament seats. So meaning that if I get a certain minimum of votes in Limpopo, I will get a seat within that particular number of parliament seats that are allocated in that province. But then the question is, if you get through, what happens then?
I'm glad I'm not the only one who's confused.
You understand?
Because
If
it's
you
so
get through
confusing.
again, you choose again.
Yes.
Which region do you want to fall under?
Yes.
Maybe even the IEC can just decide to say you'll
Yeah.
fall under what you call under Gauteng.
The seats
but then
allocated to
someone
Gauteng.
below you who's close to you then takes the other one
Yes.
in that particular province.
So you can never overproduce yourself. In other words.
Yes,
So
you
no
can.
matter-
You can. No matter what, that's why I decided to only contest two.
Yes,
I would
because-
have
yes.
contested, but then what if I get all of them? You understand what I'm saying?
I fully understand.
Yeah, so it's also a waste of
Yeah.
resources. in
So
that.
on the part of the education, you'll tell me if you are willing to disclose.
Yeah.
Have you calculated whether in Limpopo or in Gauteng, what is the threshold that will secure you a seat? How many votes, actual vote?
I think I'm looking.
66,
I'm looking at
50,000?
minimum of 50.
50,000
Yeah, minimum.
will get you a seat.
I like to believe that. But I also spoke to the IEC in one of the event, one of the executive of the IEC. He also said it's very difficult to
Yeah,
to
because
tell.
it's almost like golf, the cutoff point for
Yeah,
golf.
he said he was,
Yes,
he was.
it's a
yeah, he
moving
said,
goalpost.
He said, "Blessing, this is very difficult to tell."
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be less, it might be
Yeah.
more. But he said, we also don't know,
Yeah.
depending on how many people came forward and vote.
Ramoba, it's so difficult even with municipal elections, just to say Tzaneen has 50 wards. Those 50 wards, how are they going to form the PR councillors?
Sure, sure.
It's very difficult to form,
Sure.
but that's the nature of our
Yeah.
democracy. I tell people a lot that I honestly don't believe in democracy. It's just that I have to conform in it because I'm in it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Botswana diamond deal. Mokgweetsi has made concessions to, because he has changed the narrative of Botswana. He removed the family government, the family government, the Hamas, and then he came over. And people are applauding him a lot for that. He's now having deals. He forced the diamond giants to come down. Do you know anything about the deals that he made? I know he recently said they must come and lobby. They do their auction here in Botswana. They move their auction house from London to bring it to Botswana. Have you read anything about that?
No, but I can tell you this. Let's speak in the context of South Africa. You see, so what he is doing, according to what you are saying, is private, private government partnership. But again, I think that in terms of the ownership, what is the current is it 51%?
No, I think they are gunning for, don't laugh at this, I think it's around 30 years. So in phases they will end up having more majority, or at 50% with the government, whether he's in or he's not in. So people in Botswana are applauding him for that, and other observers. So I thought you understood the deal. Maybe you could bring it close to us to say in South Africa we could do something like that, because let me tell you, I don't believe in political funding. The reason I don't believe in political funding is because you think you are struggling. Someone is going to throw money at you and say, in fact, this is how you can. But then once you go into office, you will never vote.
Let's talk in the context of South Africa.
Let's do that.
Let's talk in the context of South Africa. The current mining houses, okay? We've got, according to the mining chart,
yes,
we have got 26% currently, that which the mining companies must have as BEE. Simply mean that for local empowerment, BEE as it is, meaning that they can come and give you that 26% on your own. But we still have got, on top of that 26%, there is 7% of royalties, and which is being given to the locals where the mining company is operating. If it's operating in this particular village, simply mean that particular village is getting about 7% of royalties, which is taken into the community trust and be managed by a certain individuals. So that's basically the current one. And then the remaining percentage out of that 26 then goes to, they can come and choose you, but usually they choose all these politicians and they say all of these shares, then sign here, and and the rest, what we get is taxes, meaning that taxes from these corporations and mining companies. That's the current status quo in South Africa. And how should things be? I don't believe in expropriation, or what you call nationalization of mines, right? I think that business should be given opportunity to excel. What we need to do is to collect enough taxes from these mining houses or these mines, and make sure that we take what is ours.
Say it again. You don't believe the country must own the mines?
No. Nationalizations of mines.
Yeah, explain it in
nationalization of mines simply mean that, let's put it in this way. Let's say we've got a mine sitting elsewhere.
Yeah, sorry. Started. What is privatization of a mine and what is nationalization? So our audience can
privatization maybe is what Botswana is doing.
Yes.
Come to your mine. You have got a mining company, and I say from today I own 51%. Basically, it's the same as nationalization of mines.
Okay.
Basically, you've got infrastructure there. You've got a mining company. You are also, mining, you are making profit. And then I say, from today going forward, I've got, as government, I am now, in control of your mine, which is what Zambia did at some point. In terms
French
of
countries, I understand.
they did that, and
so, and then that you call What do you call that?
It's what the policies of these likes
Minerals
of
and
EFF they are saying nationalization.
So that's nationalization.
Yeah, but I mean basically you are taking someone's property.
Oh, and why do you feel that is wrong?
Why do I feel that is wrong?
Yes.
I feel that's wrong because that's also a threat to property rights.
Of who? Because
of mining companies.
The mining houses, like let's call their names. The BHP Bulletins,
sure.
The Rio Tintos,
sure.
Majority of which are not of Africa.
Yeah.
Australians and Brazilians and stuff. So the Lonmin's London mine.
Sure.
So if Lonmin takes out $1 trillion out of our country in 5 years, and doesn't it bother you that they are not of our own and they come here, they take, and if we nationalize, we might get half of that $1 trillion in 5 years? Doesn't it bother you?
No, not at all. In this case,
okay.
Right? Let's first put it in this way. When a mining company, before it comes to South Africa, they apply for what we call mining rights or expropriation.
Yes.
I mean, what we call exploration rights or even mining permits.
Yeah.
Right? They first do the drilling to check prospect and see what minerals are there. Mm-hmm. Then the next phase, which is money also on that prospecting rights,
yes.
The drilling and so on. The second phase is of you also now have to develop. You have to drill, do shafts, infrastructure, roads, and all this, engineering stuff, yes. That which are required.
Millions,
not even millions, billions sometimes.
Yes.
Of rents, and that which investment. Some they go out to even borrow money. To actually come and develop such infrastructure. Then again, maybe on the third year, that's when they start, doing or making profit. Remember, you first excavate and up until you reach in terms of the minerals that which you are looking for. And now you start, operating. Now you have to adhere to the 26% that which, is required. Which also I think that it needs to be increased a little bit. It's in terms of the proportion of ownership between the whites and the blacks. That's why we have got the BEE, and that itself I agree with because it's important. Many people they don't want the BEE to be there, but I think that we still need it. Even the apartheid regime had a mechanism to actually empower the white people at that particular time, and I think that also this is a mechanism to actually to lower down the inequalities in the country. But now we are going into another level now. Privatization.
Yes.
Now, having that particular mine and operating, so now you are saying that you want to have 50+1. You think that you are not tampering with property rights?
No, actually, Akere, the state makes sure that governments of every 5 years or whatever continue to service people. This is just my understanding.
Yeah, but remember, we still, listen, we still have taken 27%, 26% from these mining companies, plus 15% tax.
So you think that's enough?
We just have to collect enough revenue from these mining companies. Let me tell you one of the issues that which is happening. Many mining companies are not paying enough taxes. You have heard about tax illicit outflows in the mining companies.
Yes.
Mining companies are not reporting what is correct on the ground. They are reporting less to say they've produced this much and you find that they produced more in terms of the what you call the tonnages, millions and millions of tonnages, and they say we only produce 1 million, and you find that they produced even more than 300 million tons annually, meaning that you tax them based on that, and the other money, you know, is being taken through other channels and leaving the country illegally and so on. If we are able to take enough taxes from this mining and find a mechanism that, you know, we are able to collect all the money, we make sure that we also have the police dog to make sure that, you know, these mining companies are reporting what is correct and based on what they've been taken on what is being taken on the ground, and also make sure that that 26% is not just a mere paper document, but there is substance to it on the ground, meaning there are people who are being empowered. I think that's enough. I mean, if you are generating 26%, you already taken it. General Museve's one, he was saying 30%, which we agreed to say, you know, is a good initiative to say that empowerment of, you know, of historically disadvantaged South Africans must get that 30% in terms of ownership and so on, and control of the mining houses and so on. Plus that tax, I mean, you know, we are talking about 45%, right? Which you are giving also the mining companies to be able to breathe and to be able to make profit. But you need to extract value from that. And how do you do that? You now say to the mining companies, we are proposing a beneficiation. Beneficiate your 50% of your minerals here. Meaning that money, they are not going to take it away. Oversee. They're going to make sure they invest here for the infrastructure of, you know, of the plants to actually start beneficiating our minerals here. We are also, you know, increasing job opportunities through such initiatives. Currently, our minerals have been mined and they have been shipped out of the country. All of it. We do not beneficiate in the country, you know, and by so doing, you are also bringing factories, other than after having to beneficiate their minerals, having to also still ship the final, you know, product that which has been beneficiated to other countries is very expensive. They might say, you know, we might as well, you know, do a final product here in the country. We'll have cars, we'll have cell phones, we'll have everything that which we need, and that's why we are going to extract value. But I don't believe in, you know, expropriation. I mean, you know, expropriation of land also. I don't agree to such things. I agree in, you know, the current willing buyer, willing seller policy to say the government also should assist and put budget annually to actually help buy a lot of land, that which, you know, from those who have got the land. Okay, allow me to digress. So according to me, before just I digress, so the more you nationalize, so nationalization would be the more government puts its hands on an entity. To privatize is more, the more government leaves that entity to breathe on its own in private hands. Yes, you just focus on collecting tax and making regulation. Yeah. So as I digress, it's a free market. Yes. Yeah. I want to digress with asking you a question. Maybe we'll come back. Gayton McKenzie is in mining. Yeah. And he make his millions there. I've just listened to you, what you are saying. I'm starting to think, could it be that the problem that we have in mining is our political players are there in mining, number one? Similar to the problems we have in taxi industry is because our politicians are there. The third one is our politicians are in tracking, and that's why maybe our problems are there. Correct. So, do you have a stake in mining? Myself? Yes. No, I don't have. Have you left mining completely? No. I haven't. I'm in the mining sector through my activism. Okay. Yeah. So the reason I'm asking all of this question is so people could see how independent. And I don't have a stake. Yes. I don't have shares in any other mining company. But you do have an interest because you operate in that. Correct. Yes. Correct. Okay. Do I wish one day to own a mine? Yes. Okay. Like everyone, I've got dreams also. Yeah. But also for the purpose of creation of jobs, and also, you know, having to see that there is transformation. I have to see it,
Yeah.
with myself, especially in the mining sector. We need to see. I mean, this is the industry that I learned. I mean, I went to school for this industry.
I understand.
I
It
know
makes
nothing other than,
Yes.
other than mining.
Yes.
Yes.
So
This is the industry that I know in and out, and I think that I also know how can we improve, the situation in the mining sector to make sure that it continues to create more jobs and also help, contribute more towards our GDP and add value to our economy and so on. So there are things that which in this mining sector, they've been done wrong. Hence I said that we can collect enough taxes, we can increase exploration. You see, the government has stopped doing exploration long time ago. In fact, right now, in terms of the data that which we are relying on, mostly we are relying on the data of the apartheid regime. So the apartheid regime, what they did is that they were very wise. They were mapping this country, making sure that they know, where is these minerals. They had, geoscience. The geoscience was, it still exists, but it was funded properly so that they go around, drilling around the country to identify what type of minerals do we have. Currently, the ANC government, they are relying on the data of geoscience. They don't even, currently we have got improved technology of this. If we were doing exploration to say, okay, we are putting about 2 billion rand annually to make sure that the department goes around doing the drilling, maybe we can also discover new minerals. And once they are discovered, investors will be coming in and mine those minerals and so on. I can tell you, so there are a lot of wrong things that which have been done. We are also talking about beneficiation of our minerals. Those are things that which I think they are wrong. We're supposed to beneficiate our minerals in the country so that we are able to create jobs for our people, other than us having to sponsor jobs overseas where our minerals have been shipped out of the country. So hence I'm telling you to say, I know much more about the industry and how the mining sector is going. Hence now you're talking about, nationalization of mines and so on. And I tell you that it's going to be flawed. I think that we must just collect enough taxes from these mining companies and also bring about these BEE, policies to say, in terms of ownership, partner with black people and so on and so on. And I think that's what we need to do, but also still protect the jobs for the people.
Okay, in closing,
yeah,
I'm gonna throw you things and then you unpack it for us.
Yeah.
You are in parliament, a voting comes.
Yeah.
To vote for or against nationalization of mines, you are obviously going to say no.
I'm going to say no.
A land without compensation.
No.
A border.
Let's build high walls to protect our sovereignty.
Okay. So
I'm against illegal immigration.
Okay.
Right? And what I'm proposing,
because I want you to make it clear.
Yeah.
Because others will then say figuratively, you want a physical wall.
Physical wall.
All right.
To be built.
Yeah.
Remember,
no matter how much it costs.
No matter how much it costs,
Okay,
right?
Sure.
We have got the SNDF, the South African Defence Force, which annually we give them money. All right, we give them budget. Recently, there was 2 billion, which was went to deal with the war in DRC. There, it's a good initiative. You bring stability into our continent, but also let's not forget the internal issues that which we are having. I mean, a person cannot just walk in and out of our borders there,
Yes.
Walking. I'm talking about literally walking and crossing our borders, meaning that, we see human trafficking there, we see goods, trading of goods illegally, and so on. But more importantly, we've got, a lot of, illegal immigrants in the country. And I think that we should deport them urgently. urgently. That is on an urgent, basis. We need to do that. Make sure that we deport them, and everyone who comes to South Africa must come here legally. We should be able to identify you. We should build halls. The SNDF has got, soldiers and engineers. They are also there. If you do not know, we've got engineers in the defense force. Those are people who can assist in actually constructing. At least they will be doing something.
Let's say we build a wall.
Yeah.
The most famous boundary it's South Africa and Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Which side of the wall? Which side of the river should the wall be?
Which side of the wall?
Which side of the river?
The river
should the wall be?
Doesn't matter, that one.
It matters because if it's on South African side, you are stopping people from Musina to access the river. So you have typically rendered.
At the end of the day, we must just have a wall.
Let me finish. So you have effectively given away Limpopo River to Zimbabwe. So it doesn't matter to you.
But remember, you can still construct. We've got engineers, as I said.
No, I agree with you. Because what I want to do is the practicalities of the. Let's say it's a river, Limpopo River. It's no man's land. Kamugi Zimbabwe, Kamugi South Africa.
Sure.
So the river is in the middle.
Sure.
So if we had to construct this physical wall, you want it on the South African side because you can't build it on Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
So you want it on the South African side because you can't, unless you want to build it, you want to separate Limpopo River into two.
Yeah, you can, remember, you can do that. Remember, you can still you can make a bridge underneath to control the water. That's not really a problem. You know how the dams are controlled.
Also, so in short, you will build a wall inside Limpopo River.
Correct.
Okay, no, it's fine.
That's basically what we'll do. But remember, you can still control. If there is basically a bridge, that which you let the water pass and so on.
No, it's fine. As long as we
controlled. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we need to build a wall. Yeah. And should I be elected in Parliament,
you will vote for that,
regardless of how many constituencies I have. I will continue to voice out that to make sure that we protect our borders. Protecting our borders is not about being xenophobic or anything else. It's about every country has got sovereignty that they protect. Right now, if you go to Zimbabwe, they are going to deport you. Just go there without papers, and we see that on the news.
Yes.
We saw even
Dr. Malinga went through the same.
Dr. Malinga went through the same. I think there was also a minister who also said something in public to say, if you come here illegally, we are going to to take you back where you come from. And it's not to say they are xenophobic. Mm-hmm. It's because they are protecting their sovereignty. And because if you come to a country and we don't know who you are, you commit crime, you do things, and we don't know. It's just to actually make sure that we are able to know who's living with us here and who's among us. And basically that's what I believe. If I am to vote, I will vote against illegal immigration in the country.
Yes, I know. There are laws that says, let's just call it bylaws. There are bylaws that says spaza shop, you must have blah 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 to invest in the country, blah blah blah. I understand, but if you were to vote that the Somalis and the Pakistanis and the one who have monopolized spaza shops in South Africa must let go of this thing, pack and go, or so our South Africans can get back the spaza shops, would you vote for that?
That's what I'm advocating for, that they leave. Okay. In fact, in terms of the spaza shop, those who are in the country illegally must go back. Secondly, spaza shops, in terms of policies that I'm advocating for, the informal businesses, all right, including the spaza shops, the saloons, and so on, there are many. Those are businesses that should be reserved and be operated by only South Africans. No foreign national should be allowed. That's something that a South African can do. Let them bring technology in South Africa.
Things
that we do not have, the skill and the capital, that which we don't have in the country, and come and do things that way. But you cannot come to South Africa and operate a spaza shop. And should I be elected to Parliament, those are things that which I will push to say, let's give the local economy to our people. right? Remember, I mean, you don't need education to run a spaza shop, I can tell you. And that industry on its own is making a lot of money.
It's 160 something, 170 something
you are
billion.
correct. 170 something billion, that which is
It
going to,
surpasses
and some of them,
Shoprite.
they don't even bank.
Yes.
We don't know, are they using this money for what you call, for terrorism or anything? I mean, we don't even know what they are using this money for. But I can tell you, businesses that a South African person can do should not be, for an example, especially looking at informal businesses, standing on the street selling there. Those are jobs. If you go to Botswana, they have implemented such policy to say businesses that a Botswana person can do. They are not being given to foreign, or for license to foreign. But this is what I'm pushing. Right, without being sounding xenophobic or anything, but I can tell you this: those is the matter of policies that I'm advocating for, right? And I'm saying that, should I be elected? And one of the things that which I'm going to push is that small business such as spaza shops should be given to South Africans, and everyone who's foreign national that which is operating those must close them down. And South Africans should go back. We've got the high unemployment in the country. We've got graduates who are unemployed. And some of these people also, I saw a video last night, and the health, there's also a health hazard issues, and which is something else. They actually, the hygiene in those spaza shops, because they really don't care about us. Which I think that our people are in danger. Some, they even, they sleep inside the shop, and they cook inside the toilets there, in the same place that they I saw another one where they were making cakes that they sell to the people in the toilet. And I'm looking at that, I say, but we've allowed a lot of nonsense to happen in this country. But I think that is time. I'm one of the people that I'm going to advocate for it, and I'm going to champion for it, to say, spaza shops economy should go back to our people to operate, and they should actually not be allowed to actually operate businesses, in our spaza shops.
Okay, so here's a question that I almost don't ask anyone.
Yeah.
But let me ask you. You do understand, as much as it doesn't make sense to have all these illegal people, and this one, you see, this one just landed last week, but his papers say he's been here for 10 years.
Yeah.
He can't speak a word of English, but his papers say he's been here for 10 years.
And he's in Ndlovu.
Yes,
yeah.
All of those things.
Yeah.
Do you understand that the people behind these people are cash cows to our criminal empires in South Africa? Do you understand that you are going to fight those people before you win your battle? Do you understand that part?
Yes, I understand that part.
And are you...
even our immigration, we've got a lot of corruption in our home affairs. At the end of the day, someone has to do it. You are not going to let wrong be wrong because of,
Let me cut here.
Yeah.
Let me cut here and play Arun Motsoaledi.
Yeah.
No, this particular one was one individual. He was phoning up to 6-8 times a day.
And we don't know what it's in relation to.
No. He said he has been sent to assassinate me. They've paid me money, and he wanted me to pay more, so that he assassinated the people who sent him rather than me. In other words, it was a beating process. It was a beating process. That I've got so much to kill you. If you pay me so much, I'll kill the other guy.
So we don't know what the motive is.
No, I wasn't told the motive at all.
So they're investigating now currently.
Well, they've been investigating, Pule, and I think they've made a lot of progress, but I can't disclose it. It's for police to, not me.
Yeah, as you heard, Motsoaledi has been threatened with his life.
Correct.
So typically this guy, okay, we don't know if it's a guy, so it's a lady, but he says it's a lady. So he's been under attack. People have been promising to kill him many times. You do know Namahale, right? Do you know Speak Out Palabora?
Yeah.
So Edmund Mbetse has had his house, his cars in fact, tortured because he's fighting spaza shops.
Yeah.
There were guys in East Rand that I hosted here. They're speaking about those issues. He came here and he showed me the death threats that he had. So I'm saying all of this so you understand, and those who are listening
Of
to
course,
you.
at
So
the-
to understand
at the
that
end of the
it's
day-
not as easy as Amanda, because
I agree with
it's
you.
our South African who make money with other foreigners who are going to
I
fight you.
agree with you. I agree with you on that. But at the end of the day, it has to be done. Yes, and you know.
You are taking it up knowing the challenges.
Correct. At the end of the day, it has to be done.
Yes.
Yeah. Even those who were fighting apartheid, they knew the consequences of having to fight, a well-machined, a well-sourced machine like the apartheid, where they assassinated many people,
Yeah.
where they killed many people and so on. But at the end of the day, we need to fight. And for every revolution, there must be, someone who sacrificed for that, for the people.
True.
But you cannot leave a wrong while it's lying there and then not address it.
Okay.
We will have to address it. Our people are suffering at the end of the day.
So you are still in Parliament and a bill comes.
Yeah.
You were, maybe I'm using a wrong word. Let me just not say a bill. A discussion comes. You need to vote for or against.
Yeah.
Extra tolling or stopping all the tolling. I'm talking about your N1s, those exorbitant fees. Now they want to take them into Road 101 and the R21s to further take money. Do you think South Africa's way of
Not
generating-
under the current economy, I will vote against.
You'll vote against such?
Yeah. South Africans are suffering.
Are overburdened.
Yeah, I mean, they are paying a lot already.
Okay.
Yeah, and the economy is not doing well.
You would understand that the reason I'm asking you all of these questions is because you don't have a political party that has worked so people understand. So let's talk about the petrol price. Do you think the petrol price justifies anything? Do you think it's overcooked?
No, just remember, fuel is cheap, but the levies for the government
Yeah.
is what is costly.
Yeah.
The government is taking a lot of money from the levy that is added on top of. I mean, look at Botswana. They source fuel from us, right? They buy per liter. If you are buying fuel right now as let's say you are a wholesaler for fuel. If you are buying fuel in South Africa to take it to Botswana, you buy it with about 7 rand, 8 rand. And then that side then, is going to be sold at around 12 rand. But then still they get it from South Africa. Why are we paying 24 rand per liter ourselves? It's because additional levies. So we need to really look into the issue of the levy in terms of the levies that which we are paying for fuel to actually be reduced. And I think even AA has been talking about the issues of the levy to say, no, this is too much and the people are suffering. And that's why the cost of living is very high. It's because of the South African government is taking a lot of money out of the levy that which we get through this fuel. But fuel is cheap. I mean, look, I was looking at the price of fuel in the rest of the world. It's very, very, low.
Yes.
But why in South Africa is very expensive? It's because of the levy that which we collect out of this, and which is the revenue that which goes through, to the government and so on. But I think we need to review that in terms of the levy to make it affordable for the people.
The African National Congress has a step-aside rule.
Yeah.
What is your understanding about that? Not to explain this, in terms of should someone who's been accused be stopped being operational? Let's say someone
they're
is the CEO.
they're just
This
fighting.
person has not been
I think it's the
convicted of
mechanism
anything.
they use to fight each other.
So it's not sustainable
It's
for
not
a country.
sustainable. I would like to believe that everyone should be given opportunity before the law.
So if someone is convicted, then you can.
Then that's when you take a decision.
Thank you very much. So
Yeah.
in closing, what is that one to say to your constituency?
I would like to say that on the 29th of May, let's go out and vote for change. Vote for me because of I want to advocate for policies of to deal with the high levels of unemployment in the country, and also deal with the levels of inequality in the country. Also champion policies that which are going to be creating the growing the economy. Policies that which will change the lives of our people. We currently have got about 7.8 million people who are looking for jobs, and there are no jobs in South Africa. So let's go out and vote. And I'm one person that you are not going to regret your vote in terms of the impact that I'm going to challenge in terms of policies and also implementation of these policies in Parliament to make sure that service delivery goes to our people, to those who do not have water, those who have got roads that are not properly maintained. I'll voice out. I'll also act to make sure that where I have to challenge issues, be it in court, be it to challenge ways by government that which are unconstitutional, I'll also do that. At the end of the day is to make sure that we work for prosperous South Africa.
Two quick ones in closing. You can give short answers. Number one, do you think Panyaza is politicking for elections with his job gimmicks?
Yes, he is. He's
Number-
weak.
Number two,
Yeah.
you want to expand on that?
Yeah, he's weak. He's
Okay.
weak. He has got nothing to offer.
Yeah.
But to give people false hope.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Number two, okay, but with you, I can't ask about percentages. Do you think you can make those 50,000 seats?
50,000 seats of vote.
No, 50,000 votes.
Yes,
You are
I've
very
got
confident.
confidence that people of South Africa will vote right, and also that our campaign is very strong. We are going everywhere. In the deep villages of Limpopo, we are going in the cities, we are going in the towns, and also in Gauteng. I'm visiting each and every area to make sure that we South Africans rally behind us in making sure that we make a history in South Africa, that the first in the democracy of South Africa, an independent candidate is elected.
Thank you
And
very much.
That will also to bring change for the people of South Africa and to create employment.
Thank you. Please promise after, even if you get or if you don't get, you'll come back.
I will come back. Whether
Thank you very much.
I get a seat or not, I'll come back.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.